Right, some other news making headlines at this hour. Some motorists travelling on the N1 road between Pretoria and Polokwane say they are satisfied that traffic is moving smoothly despite high traffic volumes. Holidaymakers are making their way to various destinations, including neighbouring countries, for festive holidays. For more on this, we cross live to SABC News reporter Mahlako Komane, who's at the Kranskop toll plaza. Mahlako, good evening. Thank you for joining us here. Perhaps you can give us the latest on the traffic volumes that side.
Yes, good evening to you indeed, Lizelle. Quite correct. This is quite, the route for those that are making their way towards the northern province, as well as those making their way towards that Bait Bridge into Zimbabwe and the rest of Africa, as you quite correctly said, the neighbouring countries. We were told by traffic officials earlier on that they were seeing about 1,700 cars a minute that were passing through, this toll gate, which is the Kranskop Plaza. Maybe let me just step out of shortly and just show you what we're seeing here. This is the Kranskop Plaza, where we understand about 1,700 vehicles are moving through here at an hour. It's this one, which is Kranskop, and the next one, which is the Nail Plaza. We're also told by officials that earlier on they had decided to open the gates. In other words, vehicles were just being allowed to move through without paying as a result of trying to manage that particular issue of congestion. It got a lot, but for now it seems they're back to having commuters pay or vehicles pay as they make their way towards. This is the halfway point between Pretoria and Polokwane, which would be the next stop. But Lizelle, earlier on we were at a fuel station not so far from here, and we spoke to some commuters. A lot of them saying that they were quite happy with what they were seeing on the road. They were quite happy with the presence of law enforcement officials, traffic officers, saying that they're directing traffic accordingly, but complaining about the added time that comes with this journey at this time of the year, saying that they've had to adjust their expectations in terms of when they expect to arrive at home, but saying that so far they were quite happy with what they were seeing. We are also hearing traffic authorities in the province cautioning drivers not to speed, cautioning drivers not to text and drive, cautioning drivers to obey, the rules of the road. Buckle up, don't drink and drive. That is the message that is coming out of this province for those that will be using, the roads of Limpopo this festive season. But also, tomorrow being Saturday, the day before Christmas, we're also expecting to see more traffic as well on this side of the road. But also, traffic officials also telling us that at Groblersbrug, which is the border post going into Botswana, about 8 kilometers long of traffic of people, wanting to make their way through that particular toll gate. We also know our colleague Lutendo Bobodi, who was also in Messina, also speaking about, it's packed as well there. A lot of people just trying to get home, in time for Christmas. I suppose tomorrow will be that last minute shopping, as well as that last minute shopping, making sure things are ready for the Christmas festivities on Sunday, Liesl.
Mahlako, speaking of authorities, perhaps you could also just, paint that picture of what the visibility of traffic officials look like at this point, perhaps from the garage you were at to the toll plaza. And in terms of any incidences to date, you spoke about authorities urging people to obey the rules of the road, don't drink and drive, and don't speed. Have there been any incidents or concerns thus far?
Let's ask, there's a driver here. Let me ask him what he has found. He's running away. All right, let me ask these ladies here what everybody's running away. But in terms of us getting, there's a lady that's willing to speak. Let's ask them. And I'll also speak of what I saw. On your way,
Pretoria to Guyana traffic event.
And then in terms of accidents, Mapodisa, the traffic officer,
no, for N1 nama traffic at all. Yeah, Pretoria traffic.
More the N1 to this part?
No, nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma.
Thanks,
Any accidents,
sister.
Nothing?
No accident.
Lizel, you've just heard there, Lizel, your lady, she's traveling from Pretoria going to Guyane, speaking about that she's saying that where there were traffic officials for her was, where the road, I suppose, is controlled by Gauteng, that Pretoria area, saying that that is where she saw traffic officers. But the N1 North, I suppose, coming into Limpopo, saying that she hasn't seen any traffic officials in the visibility that we speak about. I, coming from Polokwane, have seen traffic officials up until Kranskop, because this is as far as I've traveled for the day. I have seen that police visibility. Even at the petrol station that we were at earlier on, we saw police, doing those random searches, doing the work of the police, if you would so call it as well. But they are there. But also, Lizel, you'd also remember yesterday we were at the Bela police station there after that that bus that was headed towards Zimbabwe was, robbers actually embarked on the bus, posing as passengers, masquerading as passengers, and started robbing passengers on that particular bus that was bound for Harare. Police had said that they were seeing an increase in a spike, rather, in crime, especially during the season on the N1 between Pretoria and Messina, saying that this is Limpopo police, that on their part they were going to try and ensure that there are more boots on the ground, more officers on the ground, to ensure that passengers feel safe, drivers, commuters feel safe. But they also spoke about going into malls. We know it's very packed. I mean, just trying to drive out of Polokwane today as we were making our way here, it was almost near impossible to move out. But that's how busy the season is. But we're hearing from Limpopo police saying that they are going to try and ensure that there are more officers that are deployed to the ground, to the shopping malls, as well as on the roads and other hotspots that they have identified and they've targeted. But also, Lizel, in line with what we saw yesterday, at Bela, police also cautioning users, commuters rather, not to carry loads and loads of money, rather to keep money safe in the bank, keep some in the bank, to be cautious about who they pick up, the usual safety precautions that one would take, more so especially this time of the year, Lilo.
Absolutely. It's also going to be interesting to see what the cost of the entire trip amounts to for various road users and the type of vehicles they use. Perhaps you can give us that update when we speak to you again. But it seems good music and good company might make the delays a little bit more bearable. Our reporter Mahlako Komane giving us the latest from the Kranskop toll plaza. This is holidaymakers are making their way to various destinations.